Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 31st through June 6th. And during that time, we have a full moon that comes in on the 31st. And that, of course, can be a time of heightened emotions. You might be prone to feeling overwhelmed and anxious or snappy and irritable. You may have some changes in your sleeping pattern. So if that's the case for you, just release any resentments or fears that you have and try to practice patience and calm. If you're like me, I just have very heightened energy during the full moon, but it's good energy. I'm not snappy or irritable. I'm actually ready to go and having fun. So we then, for the rest of the week, have the waning gibbous energy, which is a time of self-reflection and rebirth. Good time to make positive changes, get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, and just get back to work on working towards achieving the goals and things that you've set for yourself during the new moon. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Cancer. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to be bold and make the first move. All right, let's see what the Cancer Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week, Cancer, is that you get out into nature a little bit. So, I know I've been out this week a lot. So sometimes you have to be reminded, like, get out there and enjoy it. You know, there's other stuff going on besides the stuff inside. I'm always surprised. Sometimes we'll take off and just drive and we go through small towns and I look and I don't see people outside and I'm like, what is everyone doing? Get outside a little bit. When the weather's nice, I spend most of my time out there. I try to get my stuff done in the house early that needs to get done and get outside. I just love it out there. So try to do that a little bit this week. Get outside, get into nature. Even if you can just take a few minutes to close your eyes, connect, let's listen to the sounds and just enjoy nature. So that's my fun weekly reminder for you this week. All right, let's get into this reading. Cancer, May 31st through June 6th. Be bold and make the first move. Your overall present energy is the High Priestess. So, might be something that's going on with you that is intuitive. Could be that you had some sort of dream. But the High Priestess is our card of mystery. It's our card of things coming to us in a little bit more of a mysterious path. But it is a card about truth. So, whatever it is, there might be something that you need to make a first move on, and it's totally it's like you feel it, it's coming on your intuition. You're kind of pushed, being pushed by the universe, like, yeah, make the first move, say hello to that person, whatever that first move is going to be for you this week. Your current situation is the Hangman, so you've definitely got a new perspective, and it could be this intuition that's coming in. It could be that you had a dream. I've been studying a lot lately about intuition and premonition dreams, and different people that have them. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it could be that there's some dream and it does give you kind of a new perspective. And if you're feeling like it's a little, sometimes we have these dreams that kind of can tell us what's about to happen, and you meet a person. I don't know. Just saying, there could be any number of situations, but if it is about making a new friend or meeting someone new, being bold and making the first move because it feels intuitive and you're not really sure, but you do kind of have this new perspective on it. So, maybe that's why you're listening to this tarot reading. Just saying. At the root of your situation is the Knight of Pentacles. So could be some sort of action in the material realm, or something that's maybe, what is coming up and what you need to make the first move on. It could be that, let's say that you're at an auction and you see a thing that you want, and maybe you had a dream that you were at this auction and you've got this new perspective about, oh, I had this dream at this. Make the first move, right? So be bold, be the one that puts your paddle up first and places a bid on that item. So again, it could be so many. Tarot is a template for energy, so it's so many different situations could fall under this situation, under the card readings here. In your recent past, here is the Hierophant. So you could have been seeking out some sort of guidance or information, And, with the Hierophant and the High Priestess together, again, you're learning things. You've got, where the Hierophant's a little more traditional and the High Priestess is a little more untraditional. But it doesn't matter, wherever you're learning and getting new perspectives and trying things and applying things to your life. So, what's on your mind this week is the Ace of Pentacles. So, okay, does this have something to do, again, in the material realm? The Ace of Pentacles is usually a new financial opportunity that's coming your way. And it looks like at the root of this entire situation is some sort of action, either in the financial or the material realm. So, there could just be something new coming in for you. And again, it's you're balancing, or you've got this new perspective to kind of balance the traditional with the untraditional. So that's interesting. In or what's just ahead of you this week is the Lover's card. So I've seen this Lover's card, I want to say, in almost every reading that I've had so far this week. So that's something that's ahead of you. And it could be, again, this could be about meeting a person through some material realm. I mean, it could be that you put your paddle up at that auction and the person over across the room puts their paddle up as well, and your eyes lock in its history, right? So it could be about meeting someone new in some way that's material. And it could be, if you're already in a relationship, it could be about just a renewal of things because of something material. And it could be a gift that you give. Again, there's so many different energies and ways to read this, but in your what is ahead of you this week is somehow coming together in partnership, with a lover. For some reason, this may push you closer, something that's going on right now. In your advice position is the Emperor, which is to build something, right? This is the card of being a leader, and this is also kind of making the first move. Again, if it's be bold and make the first move, the Emperor would. So this could have something to do with some leadership thing in the material financial realm. But the Emperor is about building something. It's about someone who's very established, sticks to the rules, does the thing. But I tell you what, he is not afraid to make the first move ever. That's just who the Emperor is. So the advice is to really take that on, to really be bold this week. It's also a 4, which is the card of stability. So let's see. I'm very curious to see what this might be. Let's see where this goes. What is beyond your control this week is the 6 of Wands, which is about a little bit of recognition. So, whatever it is and whatever you make the first move on, I feel like people are watching you and people kind of notice, and you kind of get that attaboy from people, or hey, I saw what you did there. Good job. So there is like a little bit of recognition about a job well done on something here. All right, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Queen of Swords. So is it your secret desire to speak very clearly and in an understanding manner when it comes to intellectual things, and just being, I do feel like the Queen of Swords can be a little biting. Like, she doesn't mince words, neither does the King of Swords. There's no word mincing. When she says a thing, it tends to be true. She's very good at observing things and seeing things from the intellectual viewpoint. So is it your secret desire to either embody that, is to really say the thing that's on your mind, or are you trying to avoid saying the thing that's on your mind? So there's no right or wrong answer there. It's just really a question for you to ask yourself, like a big question for the week, and to really understand your answer in that. So ask yourself that question. If you're trying to avoid, being very clear and very concise with your words this week, or is it your secret desire to do so? In your outcome position, Cancer, is the 7 of Cups here. So a lot of different choices coming through for you. By the end of the week, you've got some choices to make, and it looks like you're just kind of swamped with those choices. So just make sure you're making the right choices. Make sure you're thinking things through. Make sure, maybe bring some of this logic in, some of the reason that the Emperor would have in, and just choose wisely. And again, be bold, make the first move, and just make the right choices. What is hidden for me here at the bottom of the deck this week is the 7 of Wands, which is feeling like you against the world. I don't think you have that. I think you've got, kind of community and people on your side this week who are saying, hey, you're doing it. You're killing it. You're doing a great job. Keep going. Again, so a new perspective brought on by this tradition, the tradition of your past, and maybe a more untraditional way of seeing things. So this is a very interesting reading this week, Cancer. I hope I've done it justice. I mean, I feel like, again, tarot is a template of energy. So I'm not even getting that this is specifically about one area. It's almost like life in general for you this week. I mean, we do see this Lovers card. And are these things that probably affect a relationship? Probably. And they're kind of big things that you're thinking about. But what is it that you know, it's about making that first move. So again, if you're single and you're meeting someone, make that first move, do it. Ask that person out or say hello if it's even that at that point. Or if you're in a relationship already, maybe it is time for a renewal and it's time to just build something new from here through the future. So you've got a lot of choices to make them wisely. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Cancer as they make the first move this week. All right, and the card that you get is to begin to explore. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's making a move, right? And that's also kind of this hangman is, exploring things from a new perspective, from looking at things from a new angle. I mean, obviously he's upside down and looking at things that way. So whatever that might be for you, begin to explore, look at things, have a new perspective on things. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Cancer this week. And the card that you get is the card that says change course. A closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. It's time to change course. So this is saying a closed door, something that may close to you. And maybe it is time to change course because you need to stop and make that first move. So and I see this card as if we do the same things over and over and over and get the same result, what do we call that? That's insane, right? So, if you're getting the same result, sometimes it is a good time to have a new perspective, change course, make the first move, begin to explore. I mean, I feel like all of these messages are coming out that are telling you to, let's try something new. So go ahead and do that this week. Cancer, try something new. You got all these choices ahead of you, right? All right, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, again, drop me a comment, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. And if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will do the most important thing, which is get you back to me next week, where you can come back and we can see where this energy goes. So good luck with this, Cancer, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.